So back in 2022, everyone's hyping about signing their first 10K per month client, but now it's 2023 and onward. We want to be signing multiple 5-figure retainers and deals with our clients going forward. And in this video, I'm going to reveal everything there is to reveal about fulfilling for a $21,000 per month retainer client. So without further ado, let's dive right into the meat of this training. All right, so now let's dive into how we actually deliver for a $21,000 per month retainer client. And as you can see here, this is a Stripe payment notification from the client in Slack, as we operate on Slack for our agency for all communication channels. If a client reaches out to us on Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, my team and I are never gonna reply. So we always make sure that we communicate with our clients through one communication channel, and that's Slack for us. So before we get into the screenshot, testimonials, and case studies, as well as how much we generated for this client month by month, let's go through the roles and responsibilities of our agency first. So this client is a copywriting client, so our agency is gonna manage everything there is to do with copywriting besides the top of funnel and ad side of things. We primarily focus on the back end side of our client's business, which means email marketing, SMS marketing, and lifecycle marketing. Just making sure that our clients' customers are happy when shopping with them. And last but not least, one of our most important roles is to increase the revenue generated per recipient on our clients' email list. Since most email platforms and sending softwares require people to pay by contact or pay by recipient, just like Klaviyo and ActiveCampaign, although there are some new ones coming out like SendLane, which I heard really good things about, but our service and fulfillment can be broken down into few key pillars. Number one is email marketing services. So keep in mind that our agency provides both these services for e-com and info product businesses. So the first thing that we implemented for this client are automations. So these are flows. This is not limited to the welcome flow. This is just a sequence and flow that customers actually go through when they've actually subscribed to our client's newsletter or their email list. We also have abandoned checkout flows, abandoned cart flows, and these are just reminder flows just to get the customers to buy their product. A sunset unengaged flow is a flow which gets people on our client's email list to unsubscribe automatically after a certain amount of time of being dormant. So let's say after 60 days, this customer has not opened an email, and our clients are businesses and they're also business people. They have email lists, and the sunset unengaged flow is basically to get anyone on our client's email lists to automatically unsubscribe after a certain amount of days of inactivity on that email list. So let's say this customer has not opened an email or has not clicked and has shown no sense of interest into the business. They'll be automatically unsubscribed from their list, so our clients aren't paying for inactive users, if that makes sense. And also we install a lead magnet and a pop-up onto our client's website just to be able to start collecting emails on autopilot for them. This is arguably the most important step because all other steps fall behind this pop-up. So after having this pop-up created, then and only then will I start creating the other flows. So that's pretty much all of email marketing so far. So now let's move on to the second pillar of services, which is SMS marketing. SMS marketing is a service that a lot of businesses are starting to pick up and learn more from. I would highly recommend starting a niche SMS marketing industry. We've generated way over $1 million per month in SMS sales for our clients. It's a booming industry and a lot of people are starting to get good at it. So if that's an industry you want to tap into, I really highly recommend it. But in terms of services and fulfillment for this client, it's relatively similar to the email marketing services, which we start creating flows and automations on SMS instead. So instead of our clients' customers receiving emails, they're just going to receive text messages on top of emails. And since this one client does run webinars, our agency also helps them set up webinar reminders and webinar automations. The third pillar of service that we provide for this client is SEO. So this is pretty much general copy and landing pages and product pages, as well as website copy, just to make sure that they rank higher on Google for a few and various key terms and search terms. And if that goes well, which it will, we will then upsell this client Google Ads services, which kind of pairs with SEO. And like I mentioned in a lot of my other videos, you should be always earning more and more per month from a client. Of course, this depends on their niche performance. If it's an evergreen niche, if it performs, some months of the year, let's say it's a swimwear brand, it'll definitely perform better, in the summertime. But my point is you and your agency month by month should be earning more every single month because you should be over delivering on your service so well that their clients actually ask you to give more services for their business. So if you're interested in learning how to upsell and earn more per client and actually have more happy clients, then sign up to my free newsletter below where I take the time out of my day to write 2 to 3 emails, help you grow your agency, and also document what a 6-figure per month agency looks like. So if you're interested in that, click on the link in the description down below and sign up to my email newsletter. But in terms of pricing, you might be curious, well, Hugo, how do you charge for SEO? Let's say you charge performance fees for email marketing. That's pretty normal. And for your other clients, you charge ad performance fees. That's also pretty normal. But how about SEO? How do you charge performance? For this client, we have a fixed retainer with a certain amount of copy written for their website and for their brand every single month. And if the client chooses revisions or they suddenly want a flash sale or a landing page or a fresh new landing page made with the copy from our team, we charge an additional amount per page per month. And of course, it depends on your client relationship. For some clients, we actually do them for free, but of course, it'll depend on the dynamic between you and your client. So with SEO and our fourth service in our agency, this alone brings in 6 figures per month. And a lot of these businesses will be losing 6 figures a month if they weren't working with us. So, just like any other business out there, business owners, they struggle. They might not have great creatives for their ads and for their content. They don't have great sales team and appointment setters. developers. Neither do they have great email marketers and copywriters. Every business needs good copy, and if you can just get good at a high income skill, just like copywriting or email marketing, you can charge upwards of multi 5 figures per month per client. And this leads me to the fourth pillar of fulfillment for this client, which is split testing and A/B testing. Since this client is generating a lot of revenue per month and also spending a lot of money on ads and getting traffic to his business, it makes the most sense to actually capitalize on all this ad spend and all this new traffic that this client is getting and actually optimize it by split testing and actually creating chatbots so we can collect more data from the traffic and customers that he's getting. But of course, just like AI automation services, this is ideal and optimized when our clients and the businesses that we're working with have a lot of lead flow and have a lot of traffic. If they're just getting off the floor and just starting a new brand launch, then it makes less sense to start deploying chatbots and split testing on their websites and funnels. The fifth pillar of service, which really wraps up our service for this client itself, is sending real voice messages. Since this client owns a digital product business and that he sells education online, he has a lot of students in his community and in his program. So we actually help write his scripts for his real voice messages and actually send them out to his community members to remind them to hop on calls and coaching calls, and also just make sure that they're active in the community. We're also using AI, so then our team just writes the scripts of what our client's gonna say on that voice message, and then we just have to clone his voice and personalize that message to that certain customer. I personally haven't tried this out for my business and for my clients' businesses yet, but I just think it'll be super interesting to apply. And here are a couple services that we'll be offering down the line for this client after we've over-delivered on many aspects of his business. So now let's move on to pricing. So the pricing was a $15,000 setup fee for all automations, email deliverability, hosting his domains, as well as making sure his deliverability is good and that his list health is healthy. And after onboarding, contracting, and invoicing this client after the first month, then move on to the second month where we first officially start charging our retainers. So on average, our email marketing services, as well as SMS marketing, so the entire backend in general and in total, with our CRO, which is conversion rate optimization and SEO, we bring in around $150,000 to $200,000 per month for this client. And since this client runs a digital business, their margins are extremely high. So a $21,000 retainer is even justifiable at a 2x return per month. But it's fair to say that this client will soon be paying us more because we'll be taking on more services and more roles in their business. So I know this has been said over and over again, but just always remember to over deliver when you sign your first client. And the game has only begun after you've signed them. A lot of people think that the game has stopped after you sign a client and you can just relax and go buy a Rolex, but that's the point where you have to work the hardest so they can start collecting and attracting case studies. So this was my client's initial Calendly form. We make all our clients fill out a booking form right before the call, and his business was averaging around $250,000 per month with a 70,000 email list, so that's huge. He wasn't utilizing his email list at all, and he has no ideas of his open rates and his click rates. So this just comes to show that there are a lot of businesses out there with no email team or copywriters on their team, which have no idea how to do any sort of email marketing, and they're losing hundreds and thousands of dollars per month in their business without having one. And our agency also runs a webinar department. We help our clients, if they choose to run webinars, we help them run and effectively scale their webinar funnels. All right, so now let's take a look at the stats and the performance of our agency in the first few months of operating with this client. So the initial first 2 weeks was all cleaning and list cleaning, as well as just making sure that we segment his list and making sure, and also ensuring that all copy on his emails are congruent and the deliverability is slowly going up week by week. So as you can see here, we have a 40% open rate here after 2 weeks of working with him, with a 0.9% click rate, which isn't that good, but we're still working on improving it. And this email itself is sent to the webinar reminder list. So these people actually, registered for our client's webinars to learn more about his services. And after 2 weeks of setting this up, average a 40% open rate for this list. And you might be wondering, well, Hugo, this is a webinar list. The people who've opted into the webinar are more likely to check their emails because they're waiting for some sort of notification or reminder as to when they should hop on that webinar. So they're actively looking for it. So this doesn't really count. And that leads me to my next case study, which is a 41.7% open rate on his course and program sales. So we're actively selling to this list, but still we're getting a 40% open rate and higher. Not only that, we're also getting a really good click rate on these emails, which is around 1.25%. And also, by the way, this email alone made our client over $6,000 in a day. While other businesses are struggling with inconsistent revenue, not just in email sense, our clients are printing on autopilot whilst they're doing what business owners do. So now let's move on to the flash sales that we've been doing for this client. Recently, 1 or 2 months ago, we had a Mother's Day sale, which we sent 6 emails and we generated close to $40,000 for this client. We made sure to send 2 teaser emails to make sure that his email list is aware of the sale and excited. And we sent 4 emails promoting and making sure that they're hopping on the sales page and buying our clients' programs. We also did a Father's Day sale shortly after where we generated close to $60,000 in 6 emails. Now let's move on to the attributed sales to the email team for these few months. So in month 1, we generated our client $58,000 in sales, including one flash sale, which was the Mother's Day sale. As you can see here, this is the email attributed sales for that month, which is 50.8K. And in month 2, which is the current record month of working with this client, we generated him $103,000 in sales. This was shortly after optimizing his list and making sure that his open rates are actually slowly going up. And also, if you can see here, these are the number of people that we send in the email to. So this is the list size. But if you go back up to his Calendly booking form, he had close to a $70,000 list. So you might be wondering, why am I not sending emails to his entire list? And the reason is because it's only been 2 months. We're slowly increasing that list size until we can fully scale a 40 to 50% open rate on all emails to that entire list for that client. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna be raining then. Also, if you're interested in joining a community of copywriters, email marketers, and overall a Discord community for growing agency owners, then feel free to click in the link in the description below to join my newsletter where I personally write 2 to 3 emails per week, documenting my journey of running a 6-figure per month agency and also providing valuable tips on running your own. See you in the next video.